Alright guys, in this video I have a 2012 Volkswagen Jetta, a 2-liter non-turbo, non-diesel, sorry. It's just a straight gasoline engine. And customer complaint is that there was a hesitation and a no start. So the guy was driving down the road and he gave it gas and it didn't go anywhere, and then after that, well, it just wouldn't start for roughly about a half an hour. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through some preliminaries, and I already took and I scanned the vehicle, and I'll show you guys the codes that were onto it. And I thought it'd be a good idea to show you guys how to basically verify these codes onto this vehicle. So what we're going to do, we're going to take and we're going to come over to the scan tool. Well, alright, so if you see right here, I have a p0351, p0300, p0301, and p0304. So basically I'm having a ignition coil A primary circuit fault, which the A actually controls your cylinder 1. So I'm gonna bring you guys over here. Actually I should have the wiring diagram up too. We'll see. I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible for you guys to give you guys a nice little video. Alright, so here's the wiring diagram. Like I said, I didn't do any diagnostics to this, I just hauled up the wiring diagram for you guys. So here's my ignition coil. Now my ignition coil A, as you can tell, it doesn't really tell me which wire it is, and if I go over onto the next page, it's the PCM is blank. So all I know is that it comes from the signal comes from the PCM. So what we got to do is we're gonna have to check our power and ground feed, and then we're going to check our 2 signal feeds. They're coming in, and this is going to be done very, very simply. Yes. Hey, comment ça va? Sorry about that, guys. I had my battery come in for another car that I'm doing. So what we're going to be doing is taking and checking our power and ground feed from here, and we're going to be taking and also checking our 2 signal wires that are right here. I'll take that off because that doesn't look very pretty like that. There we go. So we're going to be checking our 2 signal wires that are right here. Now to check our power and ground, what I'm basically going to do is going to be very, very simple. I'm just going to take a light bulb and I'm going to turn the key on, and we're going to take and we're going to hook up to our ground, which is this brown, and our power, which is the red green, and that should give us a good indication on our power and ground integrity. With a loaded circuit, and a light bulb is going to load the circuit. So if I can find the light bulb, let's go over here. There we go. There, look at that, pretty little light bulb. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to come down here. Well, actually, before we do that, I'm gonna come over here. We're gonna turn the key on, power everything up. Now, here we're going to take, and if I can find some tools, it'll go a lot better. Sorry about moving you guys around so much. I lost a piece for my camera, my tripod, so we're gonna come in here. We're gonna remove this connector. There we go. Just like that. We take them off. And now it said red, green, and brown. So red, green, and brown. So, and as you can see, that will be pin 2 and pin 4 because they are marked. So what we're going to do, we're going to take my light bulb and we're just going to plug it onto there. Try to get you guys set up so you guys can actually see me do that without the phone falling. That would be great. So pin 2 and pin 4. So here's my ground. Try to get the light bulb in there for you guys too. And pin 4, pin 2, pin 4, and that's pretty bright to me. I don't think there's any issue at all with that. So there we go, my power and ground check is done. Now the next check that we have to do is we have to check our signals. Now this is going to be a little bit more complicated. Maybe if I can get my phone set up nice for you guys. That's not nice, eh? No. Anyway, so the next part is we're going to check our signals. Now on this vehicle, the signal is actually a power signal that comes out from the PCM and goes into the module. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to hook up our test light to an LED test light. Don't use a test light because it won't work. We're going to have to use an LED test light, and we're going to have to hook it up to ground, and then we're going to hook it up into the connector. Now remember, if 1 and 2, 2 and 4, which was this guy and this guy over here, was my power and ground, that means that 1 and 3 are going to be my signal wires. Now if I test my signal wires come back and they are good, which means they are being triggered by the PCM, then there's not very much left to do. But we're going to remove this guy, and we're going to physically check him to see if there's anything wrong with him. So give me 1 second. Alright, so this is a little tool that I'm going to be using. It's basically just like a splice connector. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to hook this in. I'm going to take the end of my my LED test light, and I'm going to put it on this side, and then I'm going to crank it over, and we're going to see what it gives. Now on those 2 wires, I want to see pulsing. If I see no pulsing, then that means that there's an issue on one of those circuits. Alright, so we're going to take my splice pack that's right here. I'm going to come down into the connector. Should maybe get a light for you guys. You guys might be able to see better. And we're going to go into pin number 1. It's hard doing this with one hand, but there we go. So I am in pin number 1. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take my LED. And as you can tell, I'm onto the brown wire, so all you guys got to do is come down here onto this brown wire, which is onto the second one. Set you guys down for a minute so I can plug that in. The guys that can do this with one hand, kudos. Alright, so there you go. Now we're plugged in. Now we're going to take our clip. Like I said, we're going to set it up onto battery negative because this one actually puts out a positive pulse to the coil. And we're going to go like that. Now I'm going to bring you guys over, and I'm going to crank it while we watch. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So let's see. As you see, I got pulsing on that one, so that's good. And now we're gonna change it over to number 3, which is over here. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing. I wanna see pulsing. Now if I got pulsing and I got power and ground, the only other thing that could be is plugs, wire, coil. No, let's check. There you go. We got pulsing on that one. So, what do you guys think? Should we go plugs or coil? I say we're going to check the plugs first because I don't want to, just in case there might be an issue with the plugs. They might not be finished, but maybe, you know, the car is a 2012, so they might be due. So what we're going to do, we're going to check those at the same time. So I'm going to put you guys down for a quick second, and I'm going to remove the spark plug, and we're going to see what's going on in there. Alright, so I have a spark plug removed. I'm going to bring it to you guys so you guys can see it. And I don't know about you guys, but that gap looks fairly big. These cars are supposed to be between 0.9 and 1 millimeter, and that looks way more than that. So it doesn't look like if it's worn unevenly, so that's a good sign. But it just it looks like if the gap's a little big onto it. So this guy's going to be getting plugs and wires at the same time. So now we're going to take and we're going to do an inspection onto this guy. Now we're going to take this guy off. Now I don't know if I can actually show you guys that. Let's see if we can. Oh, this is off. Okay. See on this side, let's see. Yeah, if you guys look down in the corner, I don't know, yeah, right there. There's lettering down here. If you can see, that's B, so that's your coil B. And on this side, should have a coil A marking down in the corner. Or D. Oh, that's D. So that's your D right there. And if you come up, oh, there's your coil C. And that one was B, so this one up here is going to be your A. And if we look at our code, I said that it was coil A, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, ignition coil A, primary, secondary circuit. So, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set you guys down, and I'm going to remove this guy. And we're going to take a look at him physically. Alright, so I got all the bolts off for the coil pack. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to come down. We're going to pull on him. He'll come out. Perfect. And now we're just going to give... Oh, getting old for this. Alright. Going to give a look around at the coil and see if we can't see anything. I can tell you right now that I got some cracks. There. Underneath doesn't look so bad. No cracks there. No side. Doesn't look like I have any cracks. Or is that one? No, that's a scratch. Alright. And I got a crack there. That's nothing though. Alright. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to actually remove the module, this guy right here, and we're going to see if there's anything going on underneath. Wish I had something to set you guys up on. I don't really have anything though. Oh, I'm going to have to put you guys down for a minute. Alright, so all I did was remove just push on these two little clips and towards the inside, and then you're able to pull up on this guy. Now let's see what we have. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't look too good to me. Here's my BC, and over here is my AD. So, and I had misfire on 1 and 4. And coil A primary. So 1 and 4 is my A and D. So don't ask why I had misfire. And if I come and check on my connector, the pins on the connector aren't corroded, so that's okay. But as you can tell, there's just a lot of, so it could have been like water that was getting inside, and more than likely, look at the rust. So this guy's going to need a coil pack, spark plugs, wires, and that should just about do it. And let's just see. Oh, and look at that, guys. This guy's cracked all the way around. I don't know if you guys can see it. Look at that. Look at that. This guy started over here too. I can't really see it though. Notice that I got a hairline fracture right down the middle. So it's for sure this guy's getting a coil pack. I'm not gonna say any more on that. So what I'm gonna do from here is pause the video, and I'm gonna go and order up some parts, and we'll take them. We'll replace what we've seen. All right, guys, we have just received our parts, and our parts come from Intermotor, genuine import parts. Not a sponsor, but just to leave you guys know, this is where the parts came from. Now, here's my coil pack. You see this one's the Volkswagen Auto Group right here. This one is from this company. Everything looks good. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's labeled same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connector view. Connector view. Looks the exact same. So everything looks the exact same right there. After that, we have our plug wires, brand new. Quality, looks very high end. And after that, we have our spark plugs. Now I'm gonna do my best to show you guys the difference in the gap. Focus. So there you go. Now you can definitely see that there is a difference in the gap. The one on the left is a lot bigger than the one on the right. So that means that the gap on the left is too much and the one on the right is good. I actually measured them and they're all perfect right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to replace all the parts, and that will take care of this customer's issue. I'm going to be going on the road test afterwards also, and we'll see how that ends up. Now it is raining out today, so I'm pretty sure that there's not going to be an issue after I replace this. It was humid around here the last couple of days also, wet, humid, so that's probably why his check engine came on and he had an issue starting the car and everything. Don't forget, this guy was cracked. You guys seen the cracks on the inside and underneath it, so water was probably getting in there, and the connections on the inside of this weren't pretty either. So with that being said, I will leave you guys be, and I will do a follow-up video in the near future on this vehicle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I will see you guys next time.